I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call.
Dr. Rice,
Present.
Ms. Stepmy Walls,
Present.
Mr. Robinson,
Present.
Ms. Fountain,
Present.
Ms. Sanders.
The first thing is on the agenda, see approval of the June 30th, 2025 meeting agenda. What is your pleasure?
Madam President, I make a motion that we do the approval of the June 30th, 2025 meeting agenda.
I second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we approve the meeting agenda. Questions or comments from anyone? No, hearing none. Call for the vote. I don't have it, so
Dr. Rice,
yes. It's the second meeting for, it's not coming up. Report of Education Committee, do you have anything? Ms. Stepmy?
I have nothing to report from the Education Committee.
All right, thank you very much. Report of the Finance Committee.
so, Dr. Kirby, you didn't wanna go first? Cause mine's gonna be pretty,
But, Madam President, may I, go before her?
Okay, to do,
Well, I have, some folks that went to the professional development last week. Wanted to give a 5-minute update just to tell the board how that went and how that's gonna impact next year.
oh, okay, well, can we just use that under education and so therefore? Yes, definitely. So we're ready to do whatever you like, Dr. Pettigrew.
Can you make sure that Diana has the slides so she can put it up? And we promised 5 minutes, though.
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Caesar, you're gonna
I'm
be the
not
one to
worried.
lead this presentation.
Ms. Holden and I are gonna do it together.
Oh, great, okay, Ms. Holden, we'd like to have you present, and you wanna tell us the members that went?
The members that went, and I'm pulling this up, so I'm multitasking. All the members that went were the board of directors, including all of the principals for each, not board of directors. You just looked at me like I didn't go anywhere. You literally just looked at me like I didn't go anywhere. I'm sorry.
The
Our
director.
directors within the district. Dr. Rice was like, no, I wasn't there. The directors
Yes.
of the district and the principals went to the SLECTI conference.
And where was it?
Naples, Florida.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. You want it right now with,
Are you trying to display it?
yes,
She would need to get it to display.
okay. I thought they had it.
Oh, she's looking at you.
she will.
Paula, you wanna assist?
Yeah.
And while they're doing that, someone else wanna talk, we're getting that queued up.
Sure, so what we did, let me just give you some background
Please.
on the,
Did you send it to Ms. Lynn?
I'm about to send it to her now. I'm about to share it to her.
so it was through the SLECTI organization, and in Naples, it was not just East Cleveland City Schools. It was a collaboration between a number of different schools and school districts throughout the country. There were some from Northeast Ohio, there was, Olmsted Falls, there was Chagrin Falls, East Cleveland City Schools, there were school district representatives from Texas. And it was really a meeting of,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
it was a meeting of the minds on how to be more innovative in education. And in our innovation, how do we increase student achievement? How do we have a culture that is one that is not just completely of compliance, but how do we engage and cause a culture where innovation is everywhere and it doesn't matter what department you're in, whether you're in buildings and grounds or in the classroom or in food service, we should all have a level of excellence as the expectation. Ready?
Yeah, I'm back.
Good intro.
Yes, very good intro. And just for introduction purposes, because I haven't had the pleasure to stand before you all, I'm Sean Holden, principal over Prospect Academy. Thank you all for this time. Dr. Pettigrew, thank you for giving us some of your time.
And I am Monique Caesar, principal at Superior School for the Performing Arts. Excited to say we're adding 8th grade this year.
All right.
To Superior School for the Performing Arts, which will be a 3rd through 8th grade school.
While they're working on it, we'll continue to move forward. Oh, there we go.
to go?
Come on.
Stop playing with y'all.
Yes. All right, as we said, we are doing a presentation on our experience at the Selected Conference, which was June 25th to 27th. You will hear this over and over again. We are flying to new heights. So we are taking flight for student success. Our new flight plan again takes us to new heights in our school district. And Ms. Holden will continue from here.
There you go.
There we go. From vision to mission, why a flight plan? I'm quite sure Dr. Pettigrew has introduced to you all the flight plan that we'll be moving forward with, but it's to give East Cleveland City Schools a clear, measurable flight course to elevate every student within this district. Why SLECTE? You all have probably heard of SLECTE, but they're an organization that will shift us from compliance-driven, like Monique stated, to engagement-centered operations. YMGT, which you all have probably heard some about, to build leadership and organizational systems to sustain change and to stay the course. One thing I want to state for this conference that was done very well, we didn't come to this conference operating as different silos. One thing Dr. Pettigrew is making sure of is that we merge together as one. And SLECTE is not over here operating this way, MGT this way, and the district this way. We're intertwining as one to do the best we can do and will do for the children that we're going to serve in this community. SLECTE's framework, their design quality choices are, let me start that off. The design quality choice, relevance and novelty motivates students because it contributes to meaningful work and learning. MGT's role in this, and this in the district that they have been working with us this year, their role is to support us in data-driven decisions. Their role is also to support us in aligning operations. Like Monique stated, it's not just gonna be custodians over here doing one thing, bus drivers doing one thing, teachers in the classroom doing another, and principals off doing something else. They're helping us pull this all together to show the value of each individual that operates in the building. Next one. Oh, providing coaching and support. So, I'm sorry, I thought I added that piece in with, that's what they're here to do. They're not here to take the reins over from us, but they're here, sometimes when you're caught in the midst of doing the day-to-day work, you need that outside lens to come in, support you and tell you, you're doing a great job, and hey, how about you try it this way to see if we can get better results for the children and families that we serve here in this district.
Thank you. And there's some key takeaways. Ms. Holden and I are gonna do this together. We talked a lot about engagement, and that's the reason we've seen some increase in our student performance. And it must be designed, it just doesn't happen by happenstance. It also must not be demanded. If I tell you to do something and you don't see the relevance in it, you don't enjoy it, you don't see why it's important again, it may not happen. So we need to make sure that engagement is there. Also, if we're saying we have a system that works, it needs to be aligned to support high quality engaging work. And that's when I want to pause right there, because one of the great takeaways for me at this conference was networking with other schools. Other schools here within Ohio and across the United States, just gauging and gaining ideas from them. Learning that, yes, we all may have some of the same struggles and some different struggles, but we are all in this together for one purpose, and that's servicing our children. And Dr. Pettigrew will share later, we had an opportunity to toot our horn at the conference where Dr. Pettigrew gave a timeline, if you will, and how we started in East Cleveland Schools and how we have emerged to do some really wonderful things. There were presentations or opportunities with clips of students to share their experience. You got to see us engaged as colleagues together in the district to see where we went from a roadmap to now soaring. Also, high quality, as I said before, should be the expectation for all departments. It doesn't matter if you're in transportation, it doesn't matter if you're in food service, in instruction, that should be the goal, because in the center of all of that is students.
One of the examples that we gave and for a shining star for us when we were networking with the other districts, here we do very well where the custodian is not just a custodian. Where you may not get along with me as the teacher in the classroom, you favor the custodian. So you can assist me with encouraging that child to come to school, to get things done, to work in the classroom, to behave. The custodian can just do something as simple as start running down the hall. Where I've said it 1,000 times as a teacher, but the child has that connection with the custodian. So they're a very vital part in this piece as well.
Again, we talked about this, leadership should not be about compliance, not doing it just to say that I'm doing it, but I'm engaged. Also, our leadership should be about building a culture of innovation, not afraid to try new things for good results. Lastly, it is imperative that we celebrate the small wins as well as the big. We talked about the fact that we have a celebration for our staff in May. But what about the celebrations along the way? That inspires people. It inspires students and adults. So it's very important that we celebrate as we move along in our transformation.
And with Dr. Pettigrew's presentation afterwards, when we were networking with the other schools, they were quite pleased and proud of us. We received several kudos for making 16 out of 20 of our benchmarks. Very proud of us, especially those here in Ohio who are well aware of East Cleveland and the plight of the city. They are rooting us on.
And lastly, there is a quote there, what good are wings without the courage to fly? There is a picture of us outside of the workshop. Also, one of the artifacts we have here is some feedback from another district that share how inspired they were about the presentation. If you don't mind, I'll share a little bit of it with you, excuse me. It says, East Cleveland's rebrand and transformation was powerful. It goes to show what accountability can do for schools while supporting the community. I felt affirmed when we shared about renewal as well as how we are doing in a school and district. We are directional, not just a designation.
And who wrote that? Do we know?
No, it is anonymous.
There was a feedback from one of the participants.
One of the other participants from one of the other school districts. So at the end of the conference, we were able to give our feedback, and they wanted it to be anonymous so that people can feel free to be honest about their feelings. And according to Dr. Rowland, who was one of the presenters, there were a number of types of feedback like that.
How many school districts were there?
I would say about maybe 10.
Yeah, maybe 10, 12, something like that.
Okay, from all over the United States.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gardner said PWIs, we were the brown table.
Oh, I didn't catch that one. Yes.
We were the brown table.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes. And we were well received, well respected.
Yes.
Good. Any other questions? Any other questions, board members? I just
I'd
wanted
like to see your presentation.
We can
It
make that happen
sounded
too.
good, you
We
know.
can make that happen. You've seen some of it already. We kind of pulled together things from over the years, but I can make that available.
I love that from the beginning to now. I'd love to see.
Very
He even, Dr. Pettigrew even put in there, because I know we all saw the cap and gown from last year. So he wasn't the
With
cap,
the prison.
the prison cap from last year. He put himself out there to be vulnerable. This is what happened with us last year. But then in turn, here's what happened with us this year. We had 2 students that made a pledge, we gonna do this walk together. So they made valedictorian and salutatory, correct? So they were When I say the audience was in awe about that one, cause he opened himself up to, yeah, this is what happened to us last year, this is how they were feeling, but look where we're going now.
Yes.
And I think that transparency made people respect the presentation even more.
Agreed, yes.
Very good.
Questions?
Just a couple.
Yes, ma'am.
As far as the Selectee training, have any of you been involved in it before? Because we've been involved with Selectee for about 6 years now, right?
Since I've been,
Yes.
Yes, we have.
So you
Yes.
have been involved before, have you,
Yes.
I know that they've come here, have you gone with them before?
Yes.
Previously?
Yes,
So you have.
it's very beneficial.
Uh-huh.
It is. Well, I used to tell someone where I used to work, this is my 3rd year here in the district.
Yeah.
So me being halfway a newbie, no longer, I can't say that in August, it's, how do I put this? It's good to see that you all care enough about us to pour into us to grow. And Selectee is one of those components.
And our presentation here actually grew out of that conversation. We're talking about the way you invest your time and money, and what you think is important is where you pour your time and money. So
Yes.
thank you for thinking that
Yes.
we're important, absolutely.
Yes.
Wasn't that who we went with in Arizona?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yes. So I know they had been with them.
Right.
At least those.
So you've been with it 3 years, you've been with it the whole 6?
Yes,
Yeah.
and sometimes, again, they've come into the district, and other times we've gone to them. And having an opportunity to talk to other districts, affirm what we do. Because sometimes when you feel like you're on an island,
Mhm.
you think that you only encounter those specific challenges, and you find out you're not, and it doesn't matter when you're not a member of the PWI. You know, human experience is human experience. And so those things affirm what we do. It also gives us a chance as a community, as a district, to collaborate with each other that we don't always get a chance to when we're in the thick of things.
Right.
Yes.
Great.
Thank you.
Additional questions? Thank you all. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for representing us.
Thank you for giving us that time. We just wanted
Okay.
to, they wanted to, it was their idea, not mine. As they were collaborating, they said, Doc, we gotta go in front of the board. I said, well, come on Monday if you pull it together, and so they did. So I thank them also, for growing on this journey.
I think that's excellent because, we sit up here and approve the expenditures of these
Right.
funds. And a lot of times we have no idea how it impacts the district. And when you look at, when you go into community, when people start talking about tax dollars and especially now this, taxes have been raised all across the whole of Cuyahoga County. So people are really, really concerned. They want to know, well, what's happening?
Mhm.
So thank you for coming to share.
Thank you
So
so
I will
much.
make sure I mention that at the next community meeting I go to.
I
Thank
just
you.
wanna make one comment
Mhm.
because I know everyone is aware cuts are coming. And I made a big stink about the, what's the question? The professional developments, what are we gonna do about these? We need a ROI on this with these upcoming cuts coming. And that was one of my concerns that I posed to the board, like, hey, you guys, we gotta watch the spending. And if we're gonna be doing this, we definitely need a return on this investment.
Mhm.
So thank you for reassuring me, being on the finance committee, that we're getting something out of this, even though cuts are coming. And they're gonna be probably major. So thank you for going, thank you for getting some feedback, thank you for presenting, and keep letting us know what's beneficial and what's not. If this is one of those that need to stay, we need to know that. Like, this is one that can't be messed with. This one we have to go to. So if that feedback can come from you guys to us, that will help us make better decisions as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Madam President, that concludes the education report.
Thank you very much, Ms. Stepmar Walls. Now we're ready to go to the Finance Committee.
Hi, my name is Sheree Fountain. I'm on the Finance Committee, Chair of the Finance Committee with Vernon Robinson.
resolution to write off $2,192.09 for Key Bank fraudulent checks dated June 2023. I make a motion that we have a conversation about this.
You have to, you have to
You go.
make a motion to accept it, second, then discussion.
Okay, I make a motion to accept.
The resolution.
To accept the resolution,
Mhm.
for the motion to accept the resolution to write off $2,192.09 for Key Bank fraudulent checks dated June 2023.
I second it.
It's been properly moved and second that we adopt the resolution to write off the $2,192 of fraudulent checks. Discussion?
Yes, if you will look in the resolution itself, I thought there was an attachment there.
Yeah, for the-
It is.
Mhm.
Okay, so if you look at that attachment, the attachment is actually the checks.
Mhm.
So I'm sorry, I seem to be having problems here. So I reached out to Key Bank in 2023 when we saw that those were fraudulent checks. We reached out to Key Bank, and as you can see, in front of you, you can see the name that is on the checks. These are actually, it's the same name, and you can actually see that, these were actually checks that were, well, they're fraudulent checks. So Key Bank then, we tell them if they're fraudulent checks, they then reimburse us. And then they have to look into, how these checks, got through the system. Because we did not issue these checks, of course. So right now, even since 2023, this is still with Key Bank. But on our books, we're still showing these as fraudulent checks because they haven't resolved this issue. So the money was deducted from our account again until this can be resolved. So, our CPA has recommended that we, write off those checks. I need to keep working with Key Bank to see if they can find out who that person is to try to recover district funds.
Wow.
So that's why I've given you copies of the check. You can actually see the the other thing that we did at this point, because in 23, it was not just our school district, a lot of districts were getting hit with fraudulent checks. What we ended up doing was getting positive pay within Key Bank. We have to pay for it, the district pays for it, but positive pay is every time we write a check, we have to upload that information into Key Bank. Key Bank then will not cash any check from the district unless has gone through that positive pay process. So now we don't have that issue with hard copy checks, which is why most districts are moving to a no check, which is where we're trying to get to. Yeah, paperless, thank you. But the next thing that's happening is fraudulent ACH. So now we're dealing with fraudulent ACH, but what we're doing now is if you catch it, and which we have been doing, if you catch it every day, and you know that's not something like, let's say a Spectrum bill will come through. Well, we don't do ACH for Spectrum. We don't do anything like that. So when we see it, we immediately call the fraud department and they can reverse it immediately that day. But if you don't catch it that day, if it's 2 days later, then you have to go through a different process. So we are working on that. We are still working on trying to get this $2,092 back, but it's been open for 2 years. So we do need to write that amount off so that our auditors see that we have written that amount off because it's been open for 2 years now since June of 23. So we're still hoping to get those funds back.
Okay, so I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not your signature on there? That was
That is,
fraudulent?
no. Everything about this is the district check, that is my signature. But remember, my signature comes through an automated process. I don't sit down and sign every check. It's an automated process. So what they do is they get a check. It doesn't matter who this was first. They get any check, change the name on the check,
Correct.
and the rest of the check is still the district's check.
So was there an investigation?
There still is an ongoing investigation.
A police report made?
No police report, just an investigation with Key Bank.
So no police report was filed?
A police report was not filed.
Anybody have any questions?
Anyone else have any additional questions? I guess I'm trying to, conceptualize. They took a district check,
They didn't take a district check. This check went to a vendor.
okay,
It went to a vendor.
right,
So the 3 vendors that those checks were originally written to looked like, Hoxie Equipment Company, Chagrin Pet and Garden Supply, Synovia Solutions LLC. Those were the 3 originals. Then, however they got those, they then put their name or that fraudulent name on all 3 checks. So I can't tell you how they got copies of these vendor checks, but just understand the vendor checks to get cash go through the bank. So,
an additional question, those 3 vendors, that those checks were originally written to, they have been paid?
Mhm.
Okay. And then someone has gotten those checks and somehow,
And as you can see-
gotten the information off of there and then put their
it's not uncommon. It happens every day. It
Sure.
happens all the time. It's
Oh,
happening with every district. It's happening with every bank. It's happening everywhere. Fraudulent checks are everywhere. So we're just a victim of it this time. So-
I guess my concern is why is it still 2 years later?
Yeah.
That's
Well, if you
bothering
can't
me.
if you cannot find that person, I don't know who the person is.
Understood.
So if they could not track down how that check got through the system, if they could not track that down, then they reverse that money and give it, and it comes back to the district to say they could not track that down. So all of this happened outside of the district. This is not inside of the district. It's outside of the district. So
So-
I'm just
So
bringing
now
this.
you're gonna write it off.
But
Per-
I
per
will.
auditor?
No, per our CPA, Inner Circle is our financial CPA, and I don't know if I brought that in here with me, but it has been on our books for the past 2 years. And at that point, if you cannot resolve it, our auditor is asking that, not the auditor, CPA said, take that before the board, so that the board can write off those fraudulent checks. I still have to keep working with the bank to see for their investigation, to see, okay, what else are you all doing? Where did you stop your investigation? All of those things. I still have to do that. But as far as closing the books of the district and balancing our bank reconciliation, that's the recommendation of the CPA.
Did we honestly use those 3 people?
Did we who?
Did we use those 3 people?
Absolutely,
So-
yes.
Those are-
So
Those
so
are
it's
our
actually 2
vendors.
checks. We had to give them a check, and then this fraud check that was made out.
So,
And I guess where it's hard for me to believe, I mean, not hard for me to believe why it takes 2 years, is that I've actually had fraud things done on me.
Mhm.
And the bank will say, well, we're gonna put this money in your account temporarily, And once we finish the investigation,
Right.
we'll either take the money back or give it, and Key Bank won't do that with us.
Well, they do that. I've seen that happen with personal accounts,
Yes.
with personal accounts.
Yes.
Business accounts, I'm assuming they do differently. I do have a contact person that I keep in touch with Key Bank.
Yeah, but
So-
usually business accounts, they don't take 2 years at all.
Well, I can't, I'm sorry, I can't
Yes.
answer any of that for
Yes,
you.
they do. I work with bank systems through Dominion Energy. And when we send out a check, it goes to the bank. Now, people
As far as
within the bank,
investigation,
beg your pardon?
as far as an investigation,
It takes a while. So what happens was, whatever person in the bank, they can pull that hard copy check and do whatever, like she said, they can change everything around, and you don't know until it comes back fraud. And if that person is no longer, it takes a minute for them to go through investigation. Personal is a
I
little
would
different.
agree with that,
Yeah,
and I've definitely
so.
been through this role before too,
Mhm.
as a business owner, and it definitely doesn't take 2 years.
Well, I think the other part of that is who you're dealing with too. Because it's not the name Key Bank, it's the person who has to do the work,
Right.
so.
So we may see this next year again, huh?
Well, I hope not, because like I said, now we do positive pay. So positive pay is that every check that we write, we upload it to Key Bank. So any check now that goes through Key Bank
Mhm.
has to be verified through positive pay before it is paid.
Okay.
That's
So
like a
it is-
scanning
and that's-
system. It's like a pre-scanning system where you scan authorized checks
We,
into the account.
we upload our file into Key Bank, and then it just merges with their system, so that when those checks hit the bank, like we have had a call because of a manual check that someone may have requested, and they'll take it to the bank, because that is not in their system, they will call us and say, we don't have a positive pay on this check. And then we would have to verify that in fact, we did write that check. So that safeguard now is in place since 2023. However, it is at a monthly cost to the district.
Interesting. And since you said monthly cost, just top of your head, is that a price per each individual check, or is that a monthly?
No, positive pay, you pay for that service
Right.
through the bank, positive pay.
So
Once
that
a
cuts
year?
down on fraudulent.
Hmm.
So that cuts down on
It-
fraudulent.
Well, for us, it got rid of it completely, because we've not had any
Other fraudulent.
other fraudulent activity since we
Did that.
got positive pay. Like I said, positive pay is on checks, now the fraud's with ACH.
So question, if they, whenever they come back with the investigation or the reimbursement, since you're writing it off, will they reimburse it, or are you just gonna add it back into the account?
They
Cause
would
you're gonna take this to
then,
zero. You're gonna
they
take
would
this
then
debt to
put the
zero.
money back into our account, which is what I'm hoping the end result of this will be. They will put the money back in our account. I will advise the board that money has been refunded to the district. And it
We're
will
gonna write
go
this
back
off as
into
a
general
bad debt?
fund.
We're gonna write this off as a bad debt.
We're writing it off as fraudulent checks. So the resolution is to write off fraudulent checks. That is the resolution. So once the money is refunded, because I'm certainly, hoping that it is as well, I will come back to the board, let them know Key Bank has finally resolved this issue, the money is back in the bank, has gone back into general fund.
And still, the question about the positive pay, the fee for that, I still did not understand your answer. Is it monthly or just individual check or yearly?
I advised that it was monthly. I said monthly.
And you know about how much we're paying?
I can certainly get I can send the board a bank statement without all of the information on it that will just show that positive pay line so that you can see how much it costs. Okay?
Any more questions?
Uh, Hearing no additional questions on the resolution, call for the vote.
Nobody ain't trying to get
Mine's still not working.
Dr. Rice,
Uh,
you said yours wasn't working, so I'm calling for your vote.
yes,
And Ms. Stepmy Walls.
It's in. You see it?
Nope,
Yeah, I hit yes.
thank you. All votes are in and the motion passes.
okay, could you tell me the results? Is it 5-4-1?
4-1, yes, ma'am. You're right there, 4-1.
Oh, I couldn't see that, honey, with your glasses, I couldn't see that, by no means whatsoever. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
You can see it?
So you can see dots 4 lined up and 1
Look at
dot.
those babies
You just
sitting
look at
out
the
there with
dots.
those good eyes.
Not at all. I certainly, and I did see the.
Are we good?
Okay.
And B.
Okay,
Motion to.
No, now you, the next resolution. To adopt temporary appropriations.
Resolution to adopt temporary appropriations for fiscal year 2025-2026 at 25% of FY 2025 expenditures. Motion to adopt temporary appropriations for fiscal year 2025 to 2026 at 25% of fiscal year 2025 expenditures.
I second motion.
it's been properly moved and seconded that we adopt the resolution for temporary appropriations for the fiscal year. And this is something that we do every year.
So because there are 2 new board members, I did want to explain exactly what this is.
That was my bag.
So if you will look at, I think there's an attachment, if you will look at the attachment there.
See if we can turn it.
And I think it's because I'm putting in the vote and all of that I cannot pull it up.
Okay.
So what you will see is the resolution, then attached to that resolution, you will see a Bud summary report. You see that Bud summary report that looks like this? That is if you look, you will see, right there in the yellow, if you turn that, you can turn no, not your computer, but it won't. I guess you can, right there, see where you can flip it. Flip it right here.
Oh.
Keep flipping until there you go, okay? So if you look at the bottom in the yellow, the top of that category says FYTD expended. And the amount is $75,890,324.75. That is the amount of money that we have spent this year in the district. Ohio Revised Code states that to start your new fiscal year, which is the 25-26 fiscal year, they allow all school districts to appropriate 25% of last year's expenditures. So it'll be the 75, each of those line items where you see an expenditure, 25% will be added to each of those line items to start the 26-27 school year. By September 30th, 2025, I must bring before the board permanent appropriations for fiscal year 26. But the state allows us to start with the 25%. Okay? Any questions?
No, that was good.
Call for the vote.
Dr. Rice,
Yes.
motion passes 5-0.
Resolution to approve advances and transfers to various funds from the general fund 001 for the 2024-2025 fiscal year. Motion to approve advances and transfers to various funds from the general fund 001 for the 2024-2025 fiscal year.
I second the motion.
The motion has been properly moved and second. Discussion, please.
What you will see as a attachment as well are the advances and transfers that I am requesting for, and enable your editing so that it looks right. Okay, so what you see in front of you is the first thing that you'll see. Does everyone have up the spreadsheet that looks like this, the spreadsheet? Okay, so if you look at the headers in the spreadsheet, the way that I determine advances and transfers is the fund number all the way to your left, the description of the fund, what the cash balance is in that fund at the end of the fiscal year, and you have to minus the encumbrance out of that. The encumbrance are those purchase orders that are still open that we haven't paid for this year because we haven't received the invoices for it. But that money is not available for us to spend. So I have to subtract the encumbrances from the cash balance to get my ending cash balance. If after I do that process, there is a negative cash balance, we are required by the state of Ohio to either have a positive cash balance or a zero balance at the end of the fiscal year. So I either have to advance funds from the general fund into those individual accounts, or I'm going to transfer funds. Transferring funds meaning the money does not come back to the general fund. Okay? Any questions about that process? And for the finance committee, here is all of the backup documentation to support that. I think you might want to see that. So, the other thing that I did,
If you don't move the funds, you're saying.
well, we're gonna walk through it. So, is there a second attachment there that looks like this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if you look at that attachment, which is your first one on top, these are the first funds at the top are the funds that had negative cash balances that were on the first spreadsheet that you were looking at, that we are advancing funds into, meaning that we are going to receive those funds back into the general fund. Any questions about that concept? So these are the funds: food service, preschool, career tech, IDA special education, career tech, Title I, 2 Title Is, Title IV, and a Title IIA. What that means is the last time we were able to draw down funds from the state is June 5th. Then the state shuts down June 5th. So you cannot get any more money from the state until after they reopen after July 1st. So the way that this works, the district spends the money up front and then the state reimburses us. So in this case, with all of these funds that you're looking at, these are the amounts that we have spent that have negative cash balances, 1,533,09339. So that is the amount that we need to advance into each of those individual accounts to zero balance those accounts. Next month, well, it'll be in August. In August, I will bring these back to the board saying, I now want to reverse those funds that you put in there back out of those funds. giving them their negative cash balance again for the beginning of the next fiscal year, then we'll start getting our reimbursements again. Because the state will then be open again so that we can be reimbursed. Any questions about that? Okay. At the bottom, transfers. Transfers are funds that the board has approved that we can spend those funds. The money is transferred from the general fund into those negative accounts to zero those accounts out, but the money does not come back to the general fund. The first one, as an example, we brought Shaw High School Band, said that the board approved the Shaw High School Band, and right now, after we've all of the donations that came in, and donations are still coming in at a rate of $570.90 a month to offset the expenditure here. Right now, we have to transfer in $81,673.83. Athletics. The board, if you'll recall, earlier this year approved some additional programs, athletic programs, to the programs that already existed in athletics for Shaw and Kirk. If I could grab that for a second so that you can see this. So what the district does is, that's a 300 fund, and our gate, the money that we collect, we don't collect much money from athletics. So fiscal year to date for Shaw, we've only collected $8,550.83. Everything for Kirk is free. Athletics for middle school is free. So this is the program. These are the program costs. So what we have to do is transfer $121,336.38 for Shaw. And usually we're around 105, 110,000 per year, because that's what it costs. We added those additional programs, so the cost kind of went up a little bit this year. And then for Kirk Middle School, $17,675.78. Okay? The next one that we have is ARP ESSER 3 fiscal year 2023. That is a fund that was open in this district for 4 years. All of those ARP ESSER funds. ARP ESSER finally closed out actually in September of 2024, but ODE finally gave us their final expenditure report of the things that we spent the money on, that they said, okay, and then things that they said, nope, we're not gonna pay for that. Well, that happens in every fund. So the state, I see a lot of directors shaking their head because that happens. So, also, we had in ARP ESSER some expenditures this year that we overspent, not this year, I'm sorry, in 23. We overspent the ARP ESSER funds. So the grand total coming out of general fund into the ARP ESSER account is $273,180.77, and I think I tagged it back here also. I didn't, but you can see it right there. Okay? And then finally, this goes back to 2021. This was a preschool and family Ohio collaborative ARP ESSER grant that was overspent in the amount of $9,860.35. We are transferring the funds into that account to balance that account to zero. Are there any questions on
Okay, I
transfers?
wanna get this straight.
Mhm.
So these overexpenditures are the ones that we won't get back.
Well, no, they're not all over expenditures. Like athletic accounts are not over expenditures. Some of these are ARP, ESSER, and even the preschool. They were things that we said we needed, especially back in 2021. That was during COVID. So we were buying things for students and all of that. It overspent the grant. But there were things that we needed to buy, so you just charge it back to your general fund. Okay?
So the grand total is the five.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions about advances and transfers?
With all the government cuts, are they gonna affect any of this?
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, number one, let me say this. The ARP ESSER funds, we got about 32 million in total. That we did an excellent job in this district with spending those funds because it went into the classroom. So when classrooms, HVAC, that was the classroom, most of that, but we did not spend ARP ESSER money on, people. Other than we did some sub cleaners because we had to do additional cleaning during COVID. But Dr. Pettigrew spent those funds in the classroom. That's where we spent the money.
I remember we talked about that
Yes.
and agreed on it.
Yes, so where other school districts now are having that reduction in force because they brought all those people in with these funds that would then have to be out of general fund, we did not go in that direction. What we did was upgrade this school district for our students with the majority of the ARP, ESSER, and wellness funds. So that's what this district did. So the cuts that we are seeing now, number one, there's no more federal dollars under ARP, ESSER. We're certainly, we'll start looking to see what's happening with Title I funds, with wellness funds, preschool funds. We've got to look at all of those to see how this biennium budget is going to affect this district. So that's something we'll have to look into, but yes, certainly we will be affected. All school districts actually will be, that have a large percentage of state funding.
And we don't have a solution as to what we might do then if this takes place.
Well, actually, we don't wait till it happens, because we're in discussion about all of these things now. And at the point that we need to bring that information to the board, to share with the board, then we'll bring that information to the board. But no, we don't wait to see it happen. We're looking at what they're doing. We're looking at what our budgets are. We're looking at what our spending is. At the point that we will bring that we can bring that information to the board once we get all of our information together.
Okay, thank you. Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
So, back to the 500.
Yes,
down
ma'am.
here.
Mhm.
So going in as we know we're gonna be in the red.
No,
No, this is gonna go back to zero?
yes.
Okay.
Each of those accounts will go back to zero.
Okay.
And the accounts that are actually in the red, that will go back being in the red, are the ones that we advance the money, because we have to collect that money from the state. Okay?
Are there any additional questions on this particular resolution for the advances and the transfers? Any additional questions, comments at this
We really don't
time?
have a choice.
No,
Okay, I need clarity on
You
this
got
money
it.
right, well,
transfer, this money going
you're
on.
correct.
You got it.
We don't have a choice.
Right, but really, this is what we have to do. What we make sure of is that our numbers are accurate and that we already know from Dr. Pettigrew and myself and directors that we have spent that money appropriately, so. All votes are in, 5-0.
final. I had to shut it down 3 times, and I got it.
Did it come up finally?
Yeah, you're right, that's why you got my vote.
Okay.
See, I didn't.
But it
pay
had to be
attention. I just
shut,
kept it
I had
moving.
to keep shutting it down until but anyway.
Okay.
Resolution.
Mhm.
Resolution to amend the permanent appropriations for fiscal year 2024 to 2025. Motion to amend the permanent appropriations for fiscal year 2024-2025.
I second the motion.
It's been properly moved and second that we approve the resolution to amend the permanent appropriations for 2024-2025.
Okay, so you have in front of you, the amended permanent appropriations. So as you can see for general fund, and if the board will recall, I advise that anything that's happening as it relates to today, even though no one is in the system, any banking information that happens may impact this report today. If it does, I still have to make that change. I'm making the board aware, as I do every year. I will still make that change and then bring it back to the board in August so that you can see the change that was made. Okay, so as you can see, these are, starting with the general fund, $55,638,215.78. I have then appropriated to all of the funds, in the district, all of the funds, and you can see that they're 18, 19, 300, 439, 467, 499, 507, 509, 516, 524, 536, 572, 584, 587, 590, and 599. The 500s are federal funds, the 400s are state funds. So that's the appropriation for them. Now, if you go on down and look at this bond retirement funds, there's no money in that fund. Permanent improvement buildings, this is the appropriation, 791, 856, 25. These are just appropriations. Food service, 900,000. Employee benefits, self-insurance, 5,300,500 because we are self-insured. That's medical, dental, vision, life, Medicare. And then the next thing is our scholarships, 27,000, and student activities funds, 200, which is basically the class of 2025, 2026 or prior classes, for the 35,000. For a grand total appropriated of 75,838,789.89. Are there any questions regarding the appropriations?
This is gonna be the final balance, this is the one you showing.
This is not the balance, this is what has been appropriated to those funds this year. Any questions regarding the permanent appropriation?
Oh, let's catch the moment. Any additional questions or comments regarding the appropriations?
I think Ms. Fountain said she was reviewing it.
I was
so-
still looking.
Okay.
Under the fiduciary funds, the special trust,
Mhm.
what exactly is it?
Scholarships. Fund 007 is scholarships. Okay. And voting is open. Dr. Rice?
It should, it should,
It came through, yeah. I was telling you, yeah, it came through.
You saying yes?
yes, it should have come through, did it?
It did not.
It should have.
Oh, there it is. All votes are in 5-0.
That concludes the financial committee department.
Thank you, very much for the finance. Now, we're going to go into executive session. Yeah, do you have something before the exec, oh, okay.
Madam President, I would ask the board to entertain the recommendations of the superintendent. There are two personnel that are here that want to meet the board, so I would ask that we do that before we go into our series of.
No problem. As a matter of fact, that's what we should have done was amended the agenda to put it up, but since we, if the board does not mind that we, don't do that step and just move to immediately to, the business that of the appointments and resignation. Any problem with that, with anyone? Okay, everyone seems to be fine with it. So therefore, would you begin that?
Madam President, I bring to you in section 6, and my recommendations, a motion to approve some appointments here, certificated as well as certificated appointments. And I'm also going to ask our Director of Human Resources, Paula Elder, to introduce 2 of the names that are on the agenda tonight. Hi, Paula.
Hey, how are you all tonight?
Hey, Paula.
I would like to first introduce you to Endora Neal. Good
Hello.
evening, everyone.
Come on up. Let them meet you.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to say thank you for the opportunity. And the one thing that stood out for me sitting here this evening was the presentation that the current staff members gave regarding your leadership retreat.
Mhm.
And it makes me feel even more confident of making this decision. The sense of not just wanting to learn, but what you learn and applying it to the students. And that really resonated to me, and that's what I'm feeling that I needed to share this evening. So I'm gonna say thank you for sharing, and I appreciate the opportunity and hope to soar and fly well as a cardinal.
All right now.
Paula, you wanna tell me where she's from and where she's going?
Oh, I'm sorry.
And we welcome you.
Yes.
You wanna come back up?
Oh, okay.
This is your new Kirk Middle School principal.
All right, congratulations.
And where is she coming from?
Well, I'm coming now from a principal position at a high school from Cleveland Metropolitan School District.
Campus International.
Campus
She
International
was the
High School.
previous principal there.
Yes.
They had the IB program, a lot of great innovation are there. And we are now thrilled to have her coming on board with us and bringing much of that innovation and much of those high expectations for our students.
All right.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you all.
Next, this is the assistant principal at Mayfair Elementary. Her name is Lacola Mosley.
And the period school for the performing arts.
Split. Mhm.
Also, she's gonna talk about that. So, Lacola, would you like to tell our board some things about yourself and where you're coming from?
Okay, again, I'm Lacola Mosley. I bring educational greetings to you all as I am an educational leader. By heart, I just love it. Thank you for the opportunity to have me here today, and thank you for the opportunity to be able to serve in East Cleveland School District. I am an assistant principal coming from Garfield Heights Middle School.
All right. Welcome.
Do they have any,
What school she
do
going
they
to?
have any questions?
What school is she at? Mayfair.
Mayfair and Superior. Yeah.
Okay.
And they said we'll talk about the areas.
Okay. I got confused. Wait a minute. Okay.
Thank you. But that is my first recommendation is under the appointments, Madam President.
Okay, do we have, what's the board's pleasure?
Madam President, I make a motion that we do accept the appointment per Dr. Pettigrew for Resolution A.
I second.
It's been properly moved and second that we accept the appointments, as stated by Dr. Pettigrew for, A. Questions or comments? Any additional questions or comments? Hearing none, call for the vote.
All votes are in, 5-0.
We're ready for B?
Congratulations, ladies. For 6B, my recommendation, Madam President, is a motion to approve the professional leave, and we just have one for your attention today.
For B,
For B,
B shows
mine says resignation.
maybe I don't have I'm not up.
You know what, like, you can just take a quick look at this, what they're talking about, it's B.
B is resignations, I'm sorry, I'm in a previous copy. A resolution to approve the resignation of a classified employee.
You've heard did you make a motion?
I did, I just want to say something. Madam President, I make a motion that we accept the Resolution B per Dr. Pettigrew.
I second.
It's been properly moved and second that we accept the resignation under B, even though in the agenda itself, it has a big A there, so that's where it's a little confusion. But it is B, and it is resignation, and it is a classified person, so if you'll vote, please. If you have
All
no
votes are
additional
in,
questions.
5-0.
Madam President, my next recommendation is a motion to approve medical leave. We have one individual under medical leave for your approval this evening.
Okay. What's your pleasure, board?
Madam President, I make a motion that we accept Resolution C, medical leave per Dr. Pettigrew.
I second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and second that we accept C, the medical leave. Are there any additional questions or comments regarding this? I'll just make one comment, it's medical leave is under C, but in the agenda itself, it's A, capital A.
Yes, again.
Again, so, any additional questions or comments? That's okay.
All votes are in, 5-0.
My final recommendation, Madam President, is a motion to approve the professional leave of one of our employees.
Madam President, I make a motion that we accept Resolution D, professional leave per Dr. Pettigrew.
I second.
It's been properly moved and second that we accept the professional leave. Are there any additional questions or comments? I'll just make one comment under the agenda. This time there's no A, B, or C, or D. It's just the name here. So therefore, that's the only comment that I have. Call for vote.
All votes are in, 5-0.
All right, thank you very much, one and all. Discussion on board expenditures, what is that?
If I may, yes,
We're gonna
because
go
all of
back.
that's gonna be executive session. All of that is just the documents that I'm gonna pass out to the board. You requested from the last meeting to know the balances in each of your accounts. So if you would just,
No, I didn't request it, you said you would give it though.
well, no, Dr. Pettigrew
Dr.
asked me
Pettigrew
to
said
do
how
that,
to.
so I
Yeah.
providing that to the board.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Good,
Thank you.
fantastic.
Okay. And if anyone wants to see the backup documentation for that, it's right here.
Thank
That
you
is
very
a-
much, for providing this information. We'll, probably need to discuss it further later, but we'll discuss it a little bit later, because I have some additional comments. But we'll do that. Anyone have any questions? Okay. Thank you for sharing the board expenditures with us, we certainly appreciate it.
Well.
Okay.
Okay.
Now we're ready to go to the executive session, is that correct? Is there any additional, anything else from anyone?
Just the next meeting,
The next meeting, what's that, in August?
yeah, I was trying to see if it was in here.
Yeah, it's down there, new business, 8.
Yep, I see it, the next meeting for the board,
Thank you so much for coming,
Thank
each
you
of
all for your
you.
time.
Have a good summer.
You too.
You all as well.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second that we go back into regular session. Questions or comments about going back into regular session? Hearing none. Call for the vote.
Wow.
Let's see here.
Mr. Marwal,
Yes. I'm not getting it.
all votes are in, 5-0.
Okay, thank you. I'm having,
Technical difficulties?
is this? Okay. I turn the meeting for the Welfare and Public Relations Committee.
Hi, I'm Mary Sanders, Chair for Welfare and Public Relations. I recommend motion to accept the Board of Education Resolution 1-year contract for treasurer effective August 1st, 2025 through July 31st, 2026.
I second it.
It's been properly moved and second that we accept the resolution for the 1-year contract for our treasurer.
That was Resolution A.
All votes are in, 5-0.
Thank you. Okay,
Resolution B.
motion passes, right?
Motion
5-0,
passes.
go ahead.
Resolution to approve the summative evaluation of the CEO and superintendent.
Is there a second to that motion?
I second that motion.
It's been properly moved and second that we approve the summative evaluation of the CEO, superintendent of the superintendent. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Call for the vote.
All votes are in. 4 abstain.
Four,
4 and an abstain.
Four.
4-1.
4-1, motion passes.
Resolution C. A resolution, I make motion to approve the performance compensation for the CEO and superintendent as stated in the contract.
I second that motion.
It's been properly moved and second that we, approve the, compensation for the superintendent as stated in the, contract. Questions or comments? Hearing none.
The amount, please.
The amount is for the contracted amount, which is $10,000.
Voting is open.
You said voted, oh,
Yes. Well, 4-1.
Resolution D. I make a motion to approve the summative evaluation of the CFO, treasurer.
I second that motion.
it's been properly moved and second that we accept the, resolution to approve the summative evaluation of the CFO, treasurer. Questions or comments? No questions and no comments.
Resolution.
Just
No,
one
no,
second, please.
No, no,
My bad.
Not done yet.
we're not done yet.
Dr. Rice? Oh, it's in, I'm sorry. Voting is closed, 5-0.
I need to leave.
I got you, I got you. Howard, take care.
I don't have to shut this down.
Yes,
Detective, I gotta go.
I know, I was gonna tell them, go ahead, no.
Ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's finish the voting and then I'll share with you what's happening.
Public meeting. I don't know if it's
Sure.
a private issue.
It is,
Yeah,
very.
that's a private issue, whatever she's dealing with.
Mhm.
Resolution E. I make a motion to approve the performance compensation for the CFO treasurer as stated in the contract.
I second that motion.
It's been properly moved and second that we approve the performance compensation for the, CFO treasurer. Any questions or comments?
The amount, please. The amount,
The contracted amount, what is that, for 7,500?
7,000.
For 7,000 even?
Yes.
Okay. For 7,000, I'll take a look at, the contract
I'll
is
look at
right
it
here.
right now.
Yeah, you said 7,000.
Yeah, it was 7,000.
7,000,
That's correct.
we made the motion, we second the motion, we put the amount, am I correct?
Yes.
Question-
With a vote.
Questions or comments? Hearing none, call for the vote.
Voting is closed, 4, and a not present for vote.
That completes the Welfare and Public Relations Committee.
Thank you.
That was stressful.
Okay.
Good job.
You did an excellent job, not just a good, you did a really excellent job, so we're really pleased with, but let me, say, I always give board members, before we leave out, an opportunity to say whatever's on their minds and hearts. So, Want me to wait for you, or you ready to get any comments?
I ended it. That was the final, resolution.
Yeah, no, that's
Any
not what,
additional comments?
you know, I always give board members an opportunity to share anything that you wanna share.
No.
No?
No.
Okay, no comments at all, other than you had a stressful day?
That was a stressful vote. That was a stressful vote.
Uh-huh. Okay, Mr. Robinson, do you have any comments that you'd like to share?
No, I'm pleased.
Ms. Deborah Walls,
Good to go.
she's good to go. Couple things. First thing, I wanna, make sure that I thank the superintendent, because I heard that you sent students to the Juneteenth, for Metro CAPC. And whoever that one student is, they fell in love with this kid.
James. Stayed
Honestly,
the whole time.
I-
To begin, before everybody got there, stayed to the end.
I said, I don't know this, I got to know this kid. And, I mean, everybody that kept coming up to me and said, wow, they were just so pleased with this kid. So I wanted to make sure. It was just Juneteenth, and he just represented his school well, and people were just, I always worked the cafeteria, for the children and for the adults, and so while I'm in there, people are coming through, and, one of my girlfriends came in there and said, that kid ain't from East Cleveland, you tell me where that kid live. And she was picking with me. Mhm. Oh, you got a picture of him?
Right there, that's him.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, did he ever
Good
represent
kid.
us well.
They've graduated, going off to college. Great kid.
Okay. And also there was something else. I thank you for your leadership with East Cleveland Public Library, for what you're doing with our students there as well. So I think that's just,
Thank you.
I am very sincerely, when people, that's how we get out. That's
Yes,
how
that's how
people,
we get it.
you know, people are gonna be talking about this kid for a long time, because there's nothing, but it was a bunch of retired educators working out there, so you know, that kid, they just fell in love with him. Okay, those are the only comments I have. Here, is there anything else good for the order?
Madam President, I make a motion that we
That is
adjourn this
right.
meeting.
I second.
The motion has been made to adjourn the meeting. It has been properly seconded. Any questions or comments about the motion to adjourn the meeting?
Who's second, please?
Setmar Walls.
Thank you.
No additional questions or comments? Okay, call for the vote.
Four yes, one not present to vote.
Okay. Meeting adjourned. And when you turn it off, I'll share with you what's happening.